Hey everyone! Welcome back to English Podcast Every Day. I'm Emma.
And I'm Jack. Today, we are opening a very big door. We're talking about changing yourself. But Emma, before we talk about the new you, we have to talk about the current you.
You're right, Jack, because most people want to change, but they don't know why they feel so tired and unhappy in this modern world. Let's be honest, are we really living, or are we just surviving the day?
That's a heavy question. Think about a normal Monday. Your phone is your boss. It wakes you up. You see 50 notifications, news, emails, Instagram photos of people on vacation while you are drinking instant coffee.
Exactly. And what do? We start comparing. We see a friend at the gym, another friend buying a new car, and a YouTuber traveling the world. We sit there in our pajamas and think, my life is boring. I am a failure.
This is the social media trap. It's part of the modern life. We are always looking at other people's highlight reels while we are living our behind the scenes. It makes us feel like we are falling behind.
And then there is the busy trap. Jack, how many times do I ask you, how are you? And you say, I'm so busy.
Every time. It's like a badge of honor now. If you aren't busy, people think you are lazy. We work 9 to 5, then we check work emails at 8 p.m. We eat dinner while watching Netflix. Our brains never stop. They never just rest.
This is the problem. We are doing things all the time, but we aren't being. We are like hamsters on a wheel, running, but staying in the same place.
I feel that hamster wheel feeling every Sunday night. The Sunday scaries, you know? That anxiety about starting another week of the same routine. People want to change their lives, but they are too exhausted from their routine to even think about a plan.
I want to ask our listeners a question. Close your eyes for a second, unless you are driving, and think, if you had no phone and no work for 24 hours, who would you be? What would you do?
Most people don't know the answer because they don't know themselves anymore. They only know their job title or their social media profile. We lost our true selves in the noise of the city, the traffic, and the internet.
That's why we feel stuck. We feel like we are living someone else's life. We follow the script of society. Go to school, get a job, get married, buy things, and be tired. But where are your dreams in this script?
My dreams are usually under a pile of laundry and unread emails. But seriously, Emma, this modern life makes us forget that we have a choice. We think this is just how life is.
But it's not. Change starts when you say, I am tired of being tired. Change starts when you realize that being busy is not the same as being successful.
So in this part, we want you to realize where you are. Are you in the trap? Are you scrolling your life away? Are you waiting for a Friday that never satisfies you?
It's okay to admit it. I'm in the trap sometimes too. Jack is in the trap. But today, we are going to start climbing out.
Okay, Emma, we talked about the trap. It's dark, it's tiring, and we all feel it. But how do we start the engine? How do we change if we don't even know what we want?
That is the golden question, Jack. Most people say, I want to change my life, but they don't know what they want to change it to. It's like getting into a taxi and saying, drive me somewhere else. The driver will ask, where? And you say, I don't know, just not here.
Exactly. You'll just drive in circles.
So the first step isn't moving. It's looking in the mirror. But I don't mean looking at your hair. I mean looking at your soul.
I love that. You know, when we were kids, we knew exactly what we liked. I loved painting. I could spend 5 hours with colors. But now, if you ask me what my hobby is, I say, watching documentaries? That's not a hobby, Jack. That's just consuming content.
I'm guilty of that too. My hobby became checking my phone. But lately, I started asking myself, what makes time fly for me? You know that feeling when you start doing something and suddenly 3 hours pass?
Yes, that is called flow. To discover yourself, you need to find your flow state. For some people, it's cooking. For others, it's fixing a car, or writing, or even gardening.
But, Emma, some people might say, Jack, I don't have a passion. I'm just an ordinary person with an ordinary job. What do you say to them?
You aren't ordinary. You just buried your passion under your responsibilities. Think about your childhood. What did you do before the world told you what to be? Did you like building things with Legos? Maybe you have a talent for engineering or design. Did you like telling stories? Maybe you are a writer or a teacher.
So, we need to be detectives of our own lives. We need to find the clues from our past.
Exactly. And here is a small exercise for our listeners. Take a piece of paper, divide it into 2 columns. On the left side, write energy givers. On the right side, write energy takers.
Oh, I like this. So, energy takers are things like traffic, toxic people, or maybe a job you hate.
Yes. And energy givers are things like a good conversation, a walk in nature, or learning something new. To discover yourself, you need to see what makes your heart beat faster.
You know, I realized something last week. I love helping people solve problems. When a friend calls me with a problem, I feel alive. I feel useful. That is a part of my identity.
See? That's a discovery. If you know that about yourself, maybe your change should be toward a career or a lifestyle where you help people. Self-discovery isn't about finding a new you. It's about recovering the real you that you lost.
It's like cleaning a dusty painting. The painting was always there. You just couldn't see the colors because of the dust of modern life.
Beautifully said, Jack. But here's the hard part. Once you find those colors, you might realize that your current life doesn't match them, and that is where the fear starts.
And that is why many people stop. They discover they are a bird, but they are living in a fishbowl.
But don't worry, we aren't going to leave you in the fishbowl. In the next part, we will talk about how to start moving, even if you are scared.
Okay, Emma, I did the exercise. I know I love helping people, and I know social media is taking my energy. But honestly, I'm scared. I can't just quit my job or change my whole life tomorrow. I have bills to pay.
Jack, I'm so glad you said that. This is where most people give up. They think change must be a giant jump, like jumping across a mountain. But change is actually like climbing a staircase, one step at a time.
So you mean I don't have to change everything at 100%?
Exactly. Have you heard of the 1% rule? It's very simple. If you improve just 1% every day, you will be 37 times better by the end of the year.
37 times? Wow! That's math I can understand. But what does 1% better look like in real life?
It looks like this. If you want to write a book, don't try to write 20 pages today. Just write 1 paragraph. If you want to learn English, Don't study for 5 hours. Just listen to 10 minutes of a podcast, like this one.
I see. So the goal is to make the steps so small that it's impossible to fail.
Precisely. We call these baby steps. When a baby starts to walk, they don't run a marathon. They fall, they stand up, they take one step. Everyone cheers. You need to cheer for your own small steps too.
You know, I started doing this with my morning routine. Instead of scrolling for 20 minutes, I scroll for 15, and I spend 5 minutes just breathing and drinking water. It sounds small, but I feel more in control.
That's the snowball effect, Jack. A small snowball starts at the top of a mountain. It's tiny, but as it rolls down, it gathers more snow and becomes a giant force. Your habits are your snow.
But Emma, what about motivation? Some days I feel excited, but other days I just want to stay in bed.
Jack, motivation is like a guest. It comes and goes. You cannot rely on a guest. You need to rely on discipline and systems. Don't wait to feel like doing it. Just do the small thing because it's 8 a.m., and that's what you do.
So, action creates motivation, not the other way around.
Exactly. Once you take a small action, you feel good. That good feeling gives you the energy to do more. If you wait for motivation to start, you might wait forever.
I love this. It takes the pressure off. I don't need to be a new person by Monday. I just need to be 1% better today.
Right. And remember, consistency is more important than intensity. Going to the gym for 15 minutes every day is better than going for 4 hours once a month.
That makes so much sense. I can do 15 minutes. Anyone can do 15 minutes.
So, to our listeners, what is your 1% today? Maybe it's drinking one more glass of water or reading one page of a book. Don't look at the mountain. Just look at your feet and take one step.
Emma, everything we said about small steps sounds great. But I have to be honest with you, and with everyone listening. Sometimes I stand in front of that first step and I freeze. My heart beats fast, and a voice in my head says, "What if you fail? What if people laugh at you? What if you lose everything?"
Jack, thank you for being so real. That voice has a name. It's called the comfort zone. And inside that zone, it's warm, it's safe, but nothing ever grows there.
It's like a beautiful prison, isn't it? I know I'm not happy, but at least I know what to expect. If I try something new, I'm entering the dark forest of the unknown.
Exactly. Fear is not your enemy, Jack. Fear is just a sign that you are doing something important. If you aren't scared, you aren't growing. But we need to understand what we are actually afraid of. Is it failure, or is it what other people think?
For me, I think it's both. I remember when I wanted to start my YouTube channel. I bought the camera, I sat down, and then I thought, what will my coworkers say? They will think I'm a joke. So I put the camera back in the box for 6 months.
6 months. Think about how much you could have learned in those 6 months. You know, there is a great concept called the spotlight effect. We think everyone is looking at us, waiting for us to fail. But the truth is, everyone is too busy worrying about their own lives.
You're right. My coworker isn't thinking about my YouTube channel. He's thinking about his own car loan or his own dinner. We are the main characters in our own movies, but we are just background actors in everyone else's movie.
Precisely. So let's talk about failure. In school, failure is a bad grade, a red X on your paper. But in the real world,
Failure is just data. It's information.
How do you mean?
Imagine a scientist in a lab. If an experiment doesn't work, the scientist doesn't cry and say, "I'm a loser." No, they say, "Oh, that's interesting. This way doesn't work. Let's try another way."
So if I start a business and it fails, I didn't lose. I just learned 100 ways not to start a business?
Exactly. Thomas Edison failed 1,000 times before he invented the light bulb. He said, "I didn't fail. I just found 1,000 ways that didn't work."
Okay, but Emma, let's get practical. How do we actually step out of the comfort zone? It's easy to say, but hard to do when your hands are shaking.
I use a technique called the 5-second rule by Mel Robbins. When you have an idea to do something, like calling a new client or going to the gym, you count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. You have to move before your brain kills the idea with fear.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and just jump.
Yes, because if you wait longer than 5 seconds, your brain will start making excuses. It's too cold. I'm too tired. Maybe tomorrow. Your brain is designed to protect you, but it doesn't know the difference between a tiger and a difficult phone call. It treats both as a danger.
That's so true. My brain thinks a job interview is a lion attack. It's trying to keep me safe by keeping me small.
And we have to talk about the cost of staying the same. People always think about the risk of changing. What if I lose money? What if it's hard? But they never think about the risk of not changing.
What is the risk of staying the same?
The risk is that in 10 years, you will be in the same chair with the same regrets, feeling the same tiredness. That is the real danger. The fear of staying the same should be bigger than the fear of failing.
Wow, that hit me hard, Emma. I don't want to be the same Jack in 2036. I want to meet a Jack who is brave.
And remember, you don't need to be fearless. You just need to be brave for 10 seconds. Brave enough to say hello. Brave enough to press publish. Brave enough to say, "I quit." Once you start, the fear usually disappears.
It's like jumping into a cold swimming pool. The scary part is the air before the jump. Once you are in the water, you just swim.
Perfect analogy. And let's be kind to ourselves. If you take a step and you fall, don't beat yourself up. Life is a marathon, not a sprint. If you fail today, the sun will still rise tomorrow, and you can try again.
This really changes my perspective. I used to see my comfort zone as a safety net. Now I see it as a ceiling that is stopping me from seeing the sky.
Let's break that ceiling together. To our listeners, what is one thing you are afraid of right now? Write it down. Look at it. Then ask yourself, what is the worst that could happen? Usually, the worst isn't that bad. You can handle it.
Emma, I feel it. My heart is racing. I'm tired of the modern life trap. I know what I love, and I'm ready to ignore my fear. But how do I keep this energy alive? Usually, I feel motivated for 2 days, and on the 3rd day, I go back to my old habits.
That is the motivation trap, Jack. People think motivation is like a permanent tattoo, but it's actually like a shower. You need it every single day.
So, how do we stay clean? How do we keep that fire burning when life gets difficult?
You need a why, a big, strong why. If your why is just, "I want more money," you will stop when you get tired. But if your why
is I want to be a role model for my children, or I want to feel free. That will pull you out of bed at 5 a.m.
My why is freedom. I want to travel and work from my laptop. Every time I want to quit, I should think about that beach in Bali or that cafe in Paris, right?
Exactly. You need to visualize your success. But visualization is only 10%. The other 90% is environment.
Environment? You mean my office or my house?
Both. And your digital environment. If you want to change yourself, you must change what you see every day. If you follow people on Instagram who make you feel not good enough, unfollow them. Follow people who inspire you.
That's a great tip. I'm going to clean my following list right now. What else?
Surround yourself with growth friends. There are two types of people, anchors and engines. Anchors pull you down and keep you in the same place. Engines push you forward. If your friends always say, "Why are you doing that? It's impossible," they are anchors.
I need more engines in my life. I need people who say, go for it. How can I help?
Exactly. And Jack, let's talk about the power of starting today. Not Monday, not after the holiday. Today. Right now. After this podcast ends, what is the first physical action you can take?
I can go for a 10-minute walk. Or I can download that English learning app I've been looking at.
Yes! Physical action changes your psychology. When you move your body, your brain thinks, oh, we are actually doing this. It stops being a dream and starts being a project.
I love that shift in vocabulary. It's not a dream, it's a project. Projects have steps. Projects have deadlines.
And remember, you don't have to see the whole staircase. You just have to see the next step. If you look at the top of the mountain, you feel overwhelmed. If you look at your shoes, you just walk.
What about those days when we fail? Because we will fail sometimes. We are human.
On those days, use the never miss twice rule. If you forget to exercise today, it's okay, but don't miss tomorrow. One miss is an accident. 2 misses is a new habit.
Never miss twice. I'm writing that down. That's a game changer. It stops the guilt.
Precisely. Perfection is the enemy of progress. Be a progressist, not a perfectionist. Celebrate the fact that you tried. Celebrate the fact that you are different than the person you were an hour ago.
I feel like I have a new engine inside me. I'm ready to work on my Project New Jack.
That's the spirit. But don't just feel it, Jack. Show it. Action is the only language the universe understands.
Wow, Emma. We've covered so much today. From the modern life trap to the 1% rule and how to turn our fears into fuel. I feel different. I feel lighter.
I'm so glad, Jack, and I hope our listeners feel that too. We talked for a long time today, but if you remember only one thing from this podcast, let it be this. Your life is your story, and you are the author.
That's powerful. Sometimes we forget that we hold the pen. We think society or our boss or our past holds the pen, but it's actually us.
Exactly. You can start a new chapter whenever you want. You don't have to wait for the next book. You can change the story now.
Jack, change is not a destination. It's a journey. You will have good days and bad days, but as long as you are moving, you are winning.
Before we go, I want to say something to everyone listening. Thank you for spending your minutes with us. By listening to this, you already took your first step.
You invested in yourself. That is a win for today.
Absolutely. Don't be too hard on yourself. Be patient, be kind, but be persistent. The world needs the real you. It doesn't need another robot in the trap. It needs your unique light and your unique talents.
I'm ready to go work on my project. What about you, Emma?
I'm going to go paint for 20 minutes. No phone, no emails, just me and my colors.
I love that. Well, everyone, this is the end of today's episode, but it's just the beginning of your change.
We want to hear from you. What is your 1% step for today? Write it in the comments or just say it out loud to yourself. Let's support each other.
We believe in you. You have the power to change. Never forget that.
Stay curious, stay brave, and keep learning.
Until next time on English Podcast Every Day.
Bye for now.